Hello and welcome to this introduction into our new MT4 indicator TrendViewer Pro. TrendViewer Pro allows you to see the trends on every time frame on any market, which makes it much easier to find markets where there's time frame agreement, and that correlation makes trading much easier. I have the indicator loaded already onto this chart, and we can see the 4 time frames I'm particularly interested in: the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the hourly. And if we can see here, looking at the market as currently being viewed, which is Aussie yen, it's telling me that the weekly and the daily and the 4 hour in an uptrend. And looking down for other markets that have on this list already, we can see the markets like Kiwi CAD, Kiwi dollar, Euro dollar, all have these time frames that are in agreement. Which markets you want to have an agreement are entirely up to you. You don't necessarily have to have all 4 like this. You may want to be only interested in the hourly or the 4 hourly, or the 5 minute, the 15 minute, or the 4 hour and the daily. Whichever you like to trade is entirely up to you, and you get to choose within the settings. You have access to choose whichever time frames you're interested in. And also when it comes to, you can add in markets, you can add whichever you have access to within your main market watch will also be within the indicator. But straight away, every time you view a new market, it shows you what the trends are and the time frames that you have selected. So even before I look at the euro dollar chart, I know, because of what the indicator is telling me, that the weekly's in an uptrend, the daily's in an uptrend, the 4 hours in an uptrend, and the hourly is in an uptrend, which makes the process of market analysis a lot more straightforward. What is the indicator doing? The indicator is looking at trend and looking at cycles. It is reading price action. It is looking for highs. It is looking for higher highs and higher lows in an uptrend. It's looking for lower highs and lower lows in a downtrend, or it's looking for markets where there's no consistency in terms of trend, and they will be the gray arrows that I have set through here. So it is a very intelligent indicator, and it's doing a lot of work for you in the background, and it makes the process of analysis much more straightforward. If I go into another chart here and just add an indicator on fresh, just so we can have a look at the settings within the indicator. There's a few settings to begin with where you can optimize the speed of the indicator. Timer interval it's in milliseconds, so it's every 5 seconds the indicator is refreshing and is reading what the trends are on every time frame and every market. If you have an older machine, you may want to increase that so there's less calculation time being required. The ATR is a value to ignore oversized price action, extreme price action that interrupts cycles temporarily, and default is 3 is fine. You may want to change it to 2 or 4 occasionally, but very rarely. 200 is the number of candles that the indicator is looking at to determine what the current trend is of that market. 200 candles is more than enough on any time frame. You can reduce that down if you want, but I wouldn't go much less than 100 to keep it consistent across all markets. The colors are reference the arrows, so regardless of which background you have, you can change them so you can see them clearly on whichever background you have. Same with the text. The font size is the size of the arrows and text that's being displayed, and the trend corner is which corner you want to have the indicator displayed on, so it doesn't clash potentially with other indicators or other things that you have on the screen. I'll go with all the default settings, and you'll see here the settings that I have from the previous chart, because I've got it loaded in another one, gets added straight away. And we'll go into a couple of other features. You'll see here markets where I'm hovering over, you'll see this little DEL, the delete, comes up when you're hovering over the market. If there is one particular, maybe you can see here the market's not got much correlation across its time frames. If the trends break down, you're no longer interested, simply click on the delete and that market is gone from your list. As you're going through and you're viewing other markets that may be of interest to you, depending on what you're looking for, what the conditions are. If it's not already on your list, you'll see this little add symbol. You can simply click on the add and that'll be added to your list for future reference, so you can keep an eye on that market as you go along and continue to build up the list from that. We'd recommend you don't just have a full list of every market you have access to so you can see. Recommend you still go through and do your analysis on a regular basis, and just keep the best ones and highlight the best ones as you're going through, so you can keep a nice compact list based within the indicator. But say whenever they break down, if you're no longer interested, simply delete those and move on to the rest of the list. If you are looking through and you want to check a time frame, you want to look at the chart, you can simply click on any of the arrows and it will automatically open a chart of that which we're just looking at. You can have a very quick reference to look at what it is that way if you wish. But you can see it makes it much more straightforward and much easier to identify where the trends are without having to spend endless hours going through the charts looking for time frame correlation, which can be easily misread and leads to inconsistencies. The indicator is designed to make analysis much more straightforward. It makes it designed to allow you to be more consistent in how you trade, and allows you to just to make the process of trading and finding the best markets a lot more seamless and easier to do, and should be a huge benefit to any trader using MT4.